Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have more Trump regrets to share with you guys, more Trump voters entering the find out phase of their journey. First up is a woman who literally danced with joy when Donald Trump won. I'm not going to play the video for you because, first of all, it contains a song that might get me a copyright violation. Also, her underage son is in the video, and I don't want to share his image. I don't want to have people hating on him. Kids are off limits, in my opinion, always, period, no exceptions. In any case, she was very excited about Trump's lies. Well, now reality, yeah, did I say that right? It has kind of sort of set in with her. So take a look at this.
I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank accounts and go into crippling credit card debt, so that when I had an emergency, I had money set aside. So when my son's glasses break, I could actually get him new ones. I can't do any of that right now. My car broke down, and so I'm in a friend's car just to work, to continue living paycheck to paycheck.
So that video went on for another minute or more. And in the end, she ended up saying that she doesn't really regret her vote, but she regrets that the changes are taking so long. So here's the thing. I watched a bunch of her videos. She seems like a kind person who just is so completely cocooned in the MAGA bubble that she has no idea what's really going on. She voted for Trump for the economy, but she also voted for him because she's anti-choice. She does not believe that a woman has a right to choose. So I have a hard time feeling sorry for someone like this. I mean, first of all, she can't admit that she made a mistake. Right? She's equivocating and then changing her tune. Oh, I regret it. No, actually, I don't regret it. And then second, anyone who wants to force young girls and women to carry their rapist baby, you're just devoid of common sense. You have no empathy. So I don't know why you would expect any. You know, maybe if she had a daughter, she would be more empathetic. Anyway, next up is a guy named Chris. He was all in for Donald Trump last year. He replied to a post about a TikToker who was calling Trump voters dumb. And Chris said, again, this is last year, he said, quote, "Don't worry about this little brat. If Harris gets elected, he will get instant karma because World War III will start. Brat gets drafted. It's obvious Biden and Harris suck at dealing with other nations. It's time to get off this slippery slope because there's no turning back." Yeah, I mean, not like Trump. Not they didn't know how to deal with other countries as well as Trump, right? Anyway, so that's how it started for Chris. Here is how it's going for Chris now, almost 11 months into Donald Trump's presidency. So on November 1st, Chris replied to a Donald Trump post on Twitter, and he said, quote, "I voted for you at Real Donald Trump. Am I not allowed to have affordable health care? Just curious if there's any other way. If you kill healthcare.gov, I'll never vote Republican again. So there's that." So, yeah, I mean, looks like Chris is going to lose his health insurance, and Trump is on the precipice of starting several new wars. And he's pissing off every foreign country with not just his tariffs, but detaining their citizens, blowing up people in the ocean. Yeah, so how's that working out for you, Chris? This next woman, she posted in a mom's group on Facebook. She got dragged hard. So she wrote, quote, I'm so anxious about this whole shutdown. My husband's veteran using his GI Bill for school, which that's affected, and we get good stamps. I think she meant to say food stamps. Since I'm disabled and he's in school. We have two kids, one is 2, and we're waiting to get her tested for autism. She's a picky eater. I've tried other foods, but in the end, I give up because I don't want any more screaming. My 6-month-old is starting purees. Yes, we get WIC, but still, I don't know how we're going to pay rent, let alone our other bills and get food. I do cook everything from scratch, and I've been adding rice, beans, or noodles to stretch it out. I'm just at my wit's end and I'm overwhelmed. Plus, we're almost out of formula. He asked his mother to buy a can until our WIC comes in. Her response was, "We voted for this." Kind of cold, I have to say, from the mother-in-law, but I mean, I don't know. I've never dealt with these people, so maybe they're a real nightmare. Maybe the mother-in-law is like, "No, you guys are assholes. You rubbed it in our faces, so why should we help you?" I don't know. Next up is a video from the Focus Group podcast that's conducted by Sarah Longwell. She's over at the Bulwark. So take a listen to what this voter had to say.
Well, let's just give him another try. Even though there was a lot of hateful things that were happening the first time around, I just kind of try to look past that. And I think it just kind of went to his head. So now he's like, oh, I got away with it. They did reelect me. So now I can do whatever I want. And his little guard that he might have had is down, and he's just power hungry. I don't know. I don't really agree with anything he's done. So I really question why I even made the choice to vote for him.
Yeah, we're all questioning that. We're all wondering why you did that. Have these people never heard of Maya Angelou and her saying, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time? Like, this woman admits, yeah, I knew there were a lot of hateful things that happened during his first term, but oh, yeah, I'm going to give him another chance. Because, 80-year-olds or people who are almost 80, they change all the time, don't they? Anyway. Next up, I have some angry Twitter tweets, angry tweets to share with you in response to a post from Trump's propaganda czar, Kim Jong-levitt. So I mentioned last week that the liar announced on Twitter that Donald Trump was going to be holding a press conference. This was the day after the Republicans got slaughtered in all of the elections. So, Trump was trying to do damage control. Well, some of his voters were pissed off. They were not happy. So a woman named Velda, she told Kim Jong-levitt, quote, "I won't tune in and I won't vote after almost 5 decades of voting for this stupid party. Send him my message if you dare. All the fireworks and parades, all the celebrating in the world will not change the most abhorrent decision to ignore the genocide. I'm being nice. He needs to stand up on a podium or a town hall and just shut the fuck up and listen to the base. Calling is stupid," I think she meant us stupid, "selfish weakling, Tucker kooky, and Charlie as Shlomo is a disgrace. So that's why I said shut the fuck up." Not sure what some of that is. I don't know that Donald Trump ever called Charlie Kirk a Shlomo. But anyway, another Twitter user named Jeannie also replied to Kim Jong-levitt's post and said, "He's going to boast that our economy is booming? Why are my grocery prices still so high? Why are my insurance premiums so high? Why can't our young people afford houses? Why are we sending money to other countries while our citizens suffer? Why are you bowing to Israel at every turn?" Yeah, people are not happy. And guys, I looked at the previous Twitter post for these people. They are MAGA. They are hardcore MAGA. If anybody doubts it and says, "Oh, well, these must be Democrats and discuss," no. If you saw their other posts, you would understand. These are MAGA people. And then That includes this next person. So this person told Kim Jong-levitt, quote, "If I see one more person in the Trump administration say we're headed for a golden age, I'm going to challenge them to a fist fight. I've never seen housing costs, I've never seen higher housing costs, healthcare costs, or grocery prices. Wake up, you stupid morons. The economy is terrible, and we're not going to be gaslit anymore." So they're getting it. Slowly but surely, they're getting it. And I will have more of these that I'm going to be sharing in upcoming FAFO videos later this week. In the meantime, check this out. The news outlet called El País, I think it's how you pronounce it, País, I think it's País. Anyway, El País, I'm going with that. They interviewed some Hispanic Trump voters from Florida. Well, what do you know? They are not exactly happy about what he's been up to. So they remind me of or at least this article from what they said and how they describe these people. Reminds me of that scene from The Birdcage. I don't know if you guys remember it, where Robin Williams is trying to teach Nathan Lane how to act more manly. And he walks up and he's like, "Hey, what'd you think about that football game and that play?" And Nathan Lane responds, "How do you think I feel? Betrayed, bewildered?" Anyway, they spoke with a 35-year-old single mother named Alexis. She is a doctor's assistant. So she has a good job, and she relies on food stamps to feed her and her 2 kids. So look at this. She voted for Trump because she thought that he was going to be a better leader than Kamala Harris. And Alexis told the news outlet, quote, "The last time Trump was president, I made more money than ever in my career. Prices were low. Gasoline was cheap. I remember going on vacation. Interest rates were lower. Now everything is out of control. I can't even afford the air we breathe. Now I see that I made the wrong decision. The government is the reason we've been able to eat most of the month, and the other half, I'm counting each cent to survive, what with food prices and rent." So she is relying on food banks and other organizations right now to help feed her family. And then she said, quote, "Now I need to go 3 times a week to feed my family, and the lines every week have been longer. This sums up why I'm angry with the president. His decisions are now affecting the lower and middle class. They only benefit the rich." Oh, stay calm. Stay calm. Take a deep breath, everyone. You know what you're thinking. I mean, who could have predicted that a Nepo baby billionaire born with a platinum spoon up his ass wouldn't know what it's like to go hungry? And what these people fail to realize is the reason the economy was good when Trump was in the first time is because he was riding Obama's economic coattails. The only thing that stopped him, 2 things that stopped him from doing what he's doing now, is COVID hit, and he had some intelligent, logical people around him the first time who stopped him from implementing his most asinine policies. That's all gone. There's no more pandemic to cover up his idiocy and his incompetence. There is no more Obama's, economic success for that he can ride on. Yes, Biden's economy was suffering as well. Guess what? That is a result of the pandemic. We are still feeling it. It is still happening today. Like, these people don't use any logic. So, yeah, you did make a mistake, lady. I just don't even know. Anyway, like I said, I'll have more for you guys. Please like this video. Please share it with others so they can have some fun. Please subscribe if you have not. If you can donate, I really appreciate it. It really helps to keep the show going. So thank you all so much. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.